So I believe that the three main issues that are going to come up in the next 4 years are the UDO, zoning issues, our schools and improving our school system and the technology in the schools, and animal care and control. I think those are the things that as I have gone through the campaign trail, those are the things that most folks are most interested in. As well as, and I think it's hard to limit to three, but water in the West. That has been a huge issue for the folks out in the West area of Lincoln County.
What about the proposed expansion of the sewer system? Do you think that's a necessary thing that we expand it?
I do, and I like what the commissioners and what Kelly Atkins has done. When they considered this, they looked at all the options. They have looked at the $10 million it would take to get to the water in Lincolnton, and they've looked at expanding by double the sewer capacity for $14 million. Well, to me, the $14 million is a much better spend than the $10 million, and it increases our capacity overall. That's not to say that we have to develop up to that capacity. That means to me that we can continue to grow and include our infrastructure in that growth.
One of the issues that has recently come up, and of course it was a split vote by the current commissioners, was the long talked about government center.
Yeah, the government center is an interesting concept. Why we would need to purchase another building at this point, knowing what little I know about the situation, is kind of beyond me. Renovating a building can be so much less expensive. Now, as Kelly put it, putting cubicles, and I'm not sure if everybody understands, cubicles are an expensive proposition, and putting cubicles in that old building is going to be expensive, but it's not going to be nearly as expensive as building a brand new building. And I think that we ought to look at all of the options and not just say, hey, let's just go build a brand new building. Because as the school leaders are moving, and as we get that building that's currently occupied by the school, there's really no reason that I can see that it can't be renovated. I've renovated buildings for government agencies in the past, and I found it to be very economical. Now, having said that, you have to do it in the right fashion. You can't just say, hey, we're just going to go out and renovate this building. You've got to look at each individual, and you've got to build that building to the specifications of your partners, the people who are going to work in that building. Or you're going to do it over and over again. You need to do it right the first time and not continue to do upgrades as you go on.
Probably the most significant issue for the folks in the eastern part of the county has been the rampant residential growth that has occurred. Of course, there's also been business growth as well. Some industry, but a good bit of business, and of course, tremendous amount of additional residential development. Do you know of any specific things that the county could do better than it's currently doing related to that?
I think that we have to look at the way that we provide the services to the communities. We have to look at what the developers can give back to the county as well as what the county is going to do for the developers. Developers have to understand that as this county grows, we need more sheriffs, we need more fire, we need more medics. Someone's going to have to build a school in this area, and the county can't be thought of as the never-ending pot of money to build those things. The developers are going to have to do their fair share of providing the land space, possibly a building or two, build a fire station, and help with the school process. That's only reasonable.
One of the things that the current commissioners have recently adopted, at least we assume it'll be in this coming year's budget, is setting aside some money. You might call it bribe money. It's not exactly a bribe, but money that would be used for projects with the North Carolina Department of Transportation, seed money to say, well, we have this money that we can contribute to this project if we could get it moved up on the list of projects that you're considering doing in our area. How do you feel about that?
I'm not sure what projects are the primary focus of those funds. I don't know about that funding source, and I don't know what the county's priorities are. I know that 16 is a huge priority for the people in the East. I don't know what the commissioners have decided what their priorities are at this point. But for me, Business 16 is a huge issue, along with Pilot Knob Road and Highway 150 that goes into Lincolnton. Seems to be a corridor that is going to need a lot of additional help. If it takes seed money to get that help and move us up on the list, then I'm all for that.
But of course, you are a businessman, run a business, a successful business here at Denver Defense. But what other qualifications do you have for county commissioner?
Well, I started out my police career in 1976 in Charlotte and retired after 30 years. And during my police career, I spent a great deal of my time in emergency management, building buildings for the Charlotte Police Department. I built command centers. I had a lot of interaction with commissioners, council people, and city government as well as state government. I've had a great deal of success with the Private Protective Services Board in Raleigh. I was appointed to that by Tom Tillis back some years ago. I run another successful business. I'm the CEO of Landmark Security Company Incorporated. I firmly believe in not being a politician and being a public servant. In that respect, I also sit on the board of Crime Stoppers. I sit on the Child Safety Board, and I'm a Boy Scout counselor for a number of different items, rifles, crime prevention, and some other things. I firmly believe in giving back to the community that's been good to me and my family. I just think that it's very important that people who serve the county serve the county and not themselves.
We've got a vote coming up as a part of the May 8th primary on a 1/4 cent local option sales tax. What's your opinion of that?
I think it's a great idea. What can't be said by the schools or by the county manager is that the money's going to go to the school system. And I don't know, I'm not sure I understand the law that prohibits that, but the bottom line, and they can't say it, but I can. The bottom line is that money is going to go for technology for the school systems. And if we don't do the 1/4 cent sales tax and spread that joy of taxation throughout the entire county, then the property owners in Lincoln County are going to be charged a higher rate at some point to make up that $2.5 million difference. So to me, this 1/4 cent sales tax is a really good plan for funding the technology in the school system, and hopefully we'll be able to spend a little money on some vocational training for the school system as well.